Howdy. It's been a couple weeks since I did an update. Last week we had stuff going on the weekend and couldn't get down. So what happened about the middle of the week beforehand is we had a ton of wind come through, which is why if you look up at the trees, there's no more leaves up there anymore. But one of our buildings took a direct hit, and let me walk over. You can see that purlin that we already cut out. This branch over here, about 6 inches around, broke off and came straight down through and broke the purlin. The plastic, that's the clear section, actually is not bad shape. There's we'll just putty up the caulk up the one hole, I think, and maybe we have some extra plastic down here we can use. It should be fine, but we need to fix it before winter comes. And last year at this time we had the big November storm up in Buffalo, and I was busy assisting the areas that got the 6 feet of snow in 24 hours. But this year they're calling for a nice weak winter, which will be nice. Of course, that means the lake doesn't freeze over, and it might mean more snow down here. So a weak winter might still be a lot of snow for this area. We'll see what happens. But yeah, that came down, and it's a good sized branch. One of the things I've been wanting to do for a couple of years is get climbing gear so we can take branches that are, in our fall path and get rid of them, but it's still on my to-do list. Before we get started on the patch job, I'll show you one other thing. So over the summer we did a little bit of work on the maple syrup arch. Last year we used this piece of tin in the front to control the draft by blocking that opening with a piece of stainless that we would jam in there, which is actually down at the bottom kick plate. It's kind of hard to see. We had the idea to pick up a barrel stove and reuse the door. So we had the Amish make us a plate out of cold rolled steel that fits over the cinder block on the front, wraps around the top, and cut a hole. They cut a hole for us in the cold rolled steel, and now we have a little bit better ability to control the draft into the stove. On the inside of the burning box, we tin lined it, and it's shaped like a traditional arch now. And during the season, I'll show you what that all looks like before we fire it up. But I figured I'd show you something we've been working on. It should be an improvement over what we had. Yeah, it's a smaller opening, but it'll definitely control the draft better. Yeah, so right now we're going to get working on fitting in that piece up above, and then maybe go plink some squirrels or something. Okay, so I have the patch in place, and we have an extra piece of plastic that was scrap that we tossed over top of the piece that had the damage in it. Right in the middle here, you can see the new purlin in place. And it's not pretty, but it's a sugar shack, and it'll do. But if you go way up, that branch broke off right there. So, about 15 or 20 feet above is where it fell from, and took the top out. So yeah, this clears, it was 4 feet wide, so it would be harder to go get the replacement piece. The Amish clear ones would be the same as our tin. We've had this for years. It was sitting up in the barn before we used it. So getting a 4 foot wide piece would be problematic. Yeah, so instead we'll just patch this and it'll do. Let me get back down here. You can see we still leave the front open. That's for ventilation when we're boiling. We had thought about covering it up, but we never have, and probably won't. and now the damage is all fixed. But we had a bunch of wind come through over the last 2 weeks. Heck, this week it was 70 one day and frost another day. Looks like there's another branch over there I needed to take down that goes across our trail. It's from an old apple tree. Actually, I think we're thinking about taking the apple tree right out because it's not, it doesn't produce apples and it's got a lot of dead on it. Well, we didn't do a heck of a lot today. We did some cleanup, getting ready for winter. I put some things away in the barn, did a little cleanup in the barn, and I shot another video I'll post separate. Kind of like my $3,500 small cabin video I did a month or so ago. That video got 150,000 views already, which is huge. So I did one for the pole barn, and I'll see if I can't get a lot of views out of that thing too. But we did some squirrel hunting up above, just red squirrels. We didn't feel like taking any grays. We take grays, we feel we have to clean them and eat them. The red squirrels, we don't feel like we have to eat those. There's not any meat, but they get into all of our buildings and do a lot of damage, so they gotta go. Not to mention during hunting season, they make a heck of a racket. So any of them we can get rid of this time of the year, it's great. Let's see. You can kind of see here. Sugar shack's hauling back together. Hopefully nothing else falls on it. And in the spring, if I do get the climbing gear, I'll bring you guys along, and I'm probably going to be doing a heck of a lot of research before then. This stuff's expensive. Yeah, it's like $500 for the gear. Then I need some rigging for dropping the branches down when I cut them, for the ones that are over buildings. A descender, things like that. I have a little bit of experience with using things like descenders from the fire company, but it's a different ball game. Yeah. So it'll be a learning curve, but I'll take everyone along for the ride. So until next time. Thanks for watching.